Welcome back to the Let's Navigate and Explore podcast. On episode 4, we bring back Adarius, the young YouTuber, and we talk about where it all began, his love of making videos and making it his full-time job. We talk about the Mach 1 and everything else that Ford is pushing out during this year. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. All right, so 3, 2, 1, and welcome back to the Let's Navigate and Explore podcast, episode 4. We're bringing back Adarius, YouTuber, car blogger, car enthusiast, and we're going to talk about Ford. We're going to talk about the Mach 1. We're going to bring it back this time. We're going to get to know him a little more in depth. You know, where did all this, the car review, the YouTube lifestyle, the work style, where did it all begin? So, what's up?
Oh, so hi guys, how you been? So I'm actually kind of excited to be back. Honestly, I rewatched the podcast. I was like, okay, now this time I shouldn't be too nervous. I'm gonna be a little nervous, but not too nervous.
No, trust me, I get nervous as well. We're pretty much winging it. I should do prep, but I kind of wanted this to be natural.
Right.
Let it just be a conversation between two people who enjoy talking about cars and whatever topic that we have. But Adarius, bring it back. Let's take it back to where this all begin. You choosing to fully focus on cars, on reviewing cars. Let this be your money maker. Where did it begin?
I want to say I started my channel, like my actual YouTube channel, back in 2013. I was probably like, I want to say 12 at the time. I didn't know anything about YouTube. All I just knew was like, hey, I can watch videos on here, like, stuff like that. But as I got a little older, I remember I seen this guy, he was doing vlogs. So I was like, wait, my life is kind of interesting with my friends because we do a lot of crazy stuff and all that. So I started vlogging, and then I didn't really see I didn't see growth in like me doing my vlog channel. So I mean, one day I had bought my first car. It was a 2018 Chevy Malibu, and I was looking for like a SUV. Like I was looking for like a Chevy Traverse at the time. So I just put Chevy Traverse because I wanted to know more about the car.
Right.
So I seen this Asian guy, and I was like, he was just talking about cars. I was like, that's all he's doing, just talk about the specs of the car. I'm like, and YouTube is giving him money, and these manufacturers are sending him like loaners for like a week or so. So I was like, wait a minute, let me just put my channel on pause. I'm like,
that's when you hit it big.
Right.
That's when you hit it big, that people go after you and say, hey, you have such a big following. You have a big audience. People are listening to you. People follow you. Here, have a car for the weekend, let's say, and then tell us what you think.
Right.
And then, that's how people, it's how crazy that one person could earn a living and the other side, they get basically, the free advertising. I don't know, different people work different ways, but it's basically like that. We give you a car, you tell us what you think, and then we get, and in return, we get the views.
Right. The views, the customers, you may have like maybe 2 or 3 people that may come buy that product,
Right.
They see it,
but still, a few, like that's basically an efficient way to advertise. Right. If you get three, if you sell 3 cars from just one video, obviously you did something correct. Right. You did something right, and that for you, for me, if I'm giving someone a car, I'm calling you back. It's like, hey, let's do this again because 3 people, we sold 3 cars. Let's run it back.
Correct.
So continue.
And then I was seeing he was talking about the car, and I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, he's getting paid by YouTube. He has ads on his videos. I'm like, and these people are sending him cars for me. Mind you, it blew my mind because I was like, never in my life I would thought like the internet could basically make you like this celebrity in a sense of like like people knowing you and all that stuff. So I was like, what, let me put my channel on pause. I took all my videos down. I started from scratch again. I remember I asked my friend at the time, he's still my friend of course, but I call him more like my brother. I said, Steve, you want to start a YouTube channel? Mind you, he already has his own YouTube thing going on, and then I had my channel, but like I said, I put all my videos on like private. I didn't delete them, I just kept them there. And he was like, sure. And then I remember we created a name called L&A, which is like his last name, which is Lux, and then my first name was Adarius, of course. So it was L&A Auto Reviews at the time. I remember I got some shirts made. I still have one of my merch, like one of the shirts still.
Put in the plug.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm just keep it because I'm not making that shirt no more. The shirt is discontinued. But long story short, he agreed to it, and then we went from there. And then I remember he knew this guy at the Toyota dealership, and I remember they had a 2018 Ford Raptor. It's still on my channel, guys. If you guys want to go back and watch
check it out. Plug real quick. Plug in your YouTube channel. We'll do this at the end as well.
My YouTube channel is called Drive On Reviews, so you guys go check me out on there, and then go all the way back to my first video. Oh my God, it was so horrible. But the thing was, I was in the curve of still learning. Mind you, I'm still learning now. I'm not saying
everything that we're doing here. We could watch 1,000 YouTube videos on how to do it, how to do a podcast, how to do a car reviews, how to start a YouTube channel. Correct. But still, it's a learning experience where we're nervous. We don't know. We're a little self-conscious. I'm a little self-conscious of what people might think, the voice, whatever.
Right. Exactly. So. Just like me, the same thing. Kind of the same page that one, Chris. And I remember I did the Ford. It was a 2018 Ford Raptor, and it was white. It had the stickers and stuff on it, and I was like, I kept saying, I was like, you got this. I'm like, what does this do right here? I'm like, this is the engine bay and all that. I never drove the vehicle. I just talked about the exterior style, and I remember I did that for almost up to 6 months. I was just like, honestly, just talk about the exterior of the car, inside the car, but I never actually did the driving impressions until I came to here to the Ford of Kendall. And I remember my friend Wells. He was like, bro, you want to just drive the car? I was like, I don't think they're going to let me drive their car. I'm kind of scared. Mind you, that was my fear of, like, just asking to drive. Mind you, I have, all the driver license and all that stuff. But I was kind of scared of, like, they're going to tell me no. I don't like rejection in the sense. But when they told me yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Now, ever since then, I'm like, I have to do the test drive. I can't drive the car without doing the video. So I'm like, that's the only way I'm going to do the video if I can drive the car. But I remember we went forward from the Ford Raptor video. We went, like, just on in that. But I remember he kind of, like, gotten more into his channel, which is called the Lux Vlogs. You guys go subscribe to his channel as well. And
plug it.
And I remember that ended up happening, and then he ended up worrying about his channel. His girlfriend at the time, they were doing their thing, and then I was like, well, I'm by myself, so I'm like, it's just a one-man band. But he was still taking me to different dealerships and all that stuff to get around. And then I remember my cousin was like, I'm like, I got to come up with a different name because it's just me by myself. So I'm like, I can't call it Adarius Auto Reviews. I'm like, it doesn't sound too catchy. And my cousin's like, let's call it Drive On Reviews. I'm like, I think we got a winner here. I'm like, that was a good one. I remember I called my cousin. We were at her house. And I remember I'm like, is Drive On Reviews a good one? She's like, yeah, that sounds like a legit business. And I was like, all right, Drive On Reviews it is. And then ever since then, I just kept it. A couple of my friends, they basically helped me like edit some of like my thumbnail for my videos, like the logo for the channel, the background, like the thumbnail for the background. They kind of helped me do that. I mean, I could have did it myself, but I'm like, look, somebody help me out here. You know what I'm saying? A little help is not bad. But ever since then,
never be afraid to ask for help.
Right. For real. But that was my kind of like my kick, like my starter with the YouTube, because I seen this YouTuber guy, and I kind of like what started me off starting vlogs. But then I seen the Asian guy. I was like, yo, this is cool. I'm like, I wish somebody would send me a car for a week and I'd talk about it. And then when I seen that happen, I was like, I have to do that. And then ever since then, I've been to Cadillac events. I seen the 2020 Chevrolet Corvette, the C8. I seen that one in person. Haven't driven it yet, but I've seen it in person.
Is that the one that looks kind of like the
Ferrari?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is that the one?
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, I remember Bowman right here up the street. They they had it. Chevy brought it there, and then they had like people come and look at the car. Right. Of course, you couldn't drive it at the time, but ever since then, ever since I seen the car,
there's a whole
Yeah, it looks good. It looks just like you've seen in the pictures. It looks exactly like that. I can't wait to drive it though. I mean, I'm not sure who's gonna let me drive the Corvette, but I mean, I've seen like so far since I've been there. Within a couple months, I've seen about 3 on the road so far. Okay, wow. I seen the gray one right here at the shopping center, and then I seen one in Homestead where I live at, and then I seen one. My cousin, matter of fact, seen one up here in like the Cutler Bay area. So they're coming out slowly but surely.
Impressive. Is it?
Right. It looks very good.
It's very good.
It reminds me of a Ferrari, but it's like American made kind of. You know what I'm saying? So it does look very stylish. Very interesting. So, and that car kind of broke the internet. A lot of people put a lot of pre-orders in it. So if you're trying to get a Corvette now, you can't. Chevy says you have to wait until next year to get one. So they're trying to make everybody that pre-ordered one get their cars now. So yeah, that's kind of where I started from. I started watching this guy named, shout out to his channel as well, Redline Reviews. Sophion Bay, that's his name. That's where I started from. I mean, that's like my mentor, my teacher. So I watch his videos to, kind of improve my craft, basically. I'm a perfectionist, by the way, so I'm like, it has to be right. If it doesn't right, I don't want to do it. But
Do you follow anybody else that you know, kind of like mentor, or you know, you follow to, you know, grab little snippets? Because for me, like as a marketing guy, you know, I look at Gary Vee, I look at, you know, Grant Cardone sometimes, you know, different people that are like marketing like gurus. You know, these people know what they're talking about. They have the audience, and you know, and the good thing, like for me, Gary Vee is one of the top people that he just, you know, the amount of content that he pushes. That's the type of stuff I want to mirror, and kind of what I grab a little hints from him and try to implement it, you know, for Doral Lincoln and for Ford of Kendall. You know, shout out Doral Lincoln, shout out Ford of Kendall for giving me, you know, kind of like the green light, the platform to actually do this, because doing a podcast, doing a blog, has always been like a little passion of mine. You know, a little project that I've always wanted to launch, but never really
had to start, you know.
Yeah, but you know, shout out to them for actually, you know, making me do this. So anybody that you follow aside from, you know, your regular mentor?
Besides Redlines, is another YouTube company called TFL. They have like 4 different channels. It's so many videos I could watch. It's like their style is similar to Redlines, but it's different because it's more people and it's more like they have different personalities basically. So I kind of like watch them as well. It's Redlines, which is the first one. I always watch him first. I don't watch somebody else first. It's Redlines, and then it's TFL Car Truck. Like I said, they have like 4 different YouTube channels. Besides them, and Alex on Autos, he's a good one, but he goes into like full depth reviews. Like he tell you how many parts are on the car and everything. But he's very good as well too. But so basically, those are my main 3. But of course, I was gonna be Redlines, because without Redlines, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I would give him like a special shout out. I wouldn't basically be where I am right now. But I think, you know, those 2 other channels besides, like I mentioned, the Redlines, they're kind of interesting, but it's more people that's out there that do the same thing that I do, but everybody have their own style, their own craft.
Of course. So what's the end goal? So, you know, you're doing your YouTube channel. What's the goal? Like, what's, you know, I guess the dream?
Okay, that's a good one too. See, Chris asks is the good question, guys. You guys got to come here and do podcasts with Chris. Chris asks some good questions.
Tell me, like, if you know anybody who wants to, you know, do this with me, I need, you know, I would love to have a wider audience, you know, anybody. But yeah, continue. Like, what's you know, you're doing your channel, you know, YouTube is paying you, but what's eventually the end goal?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say my end goal with YouTube would be getting the car manufacturers to send me a car for a week. That's when I can say that I made
that you made it.
Right.
You made it.
I mean, I made it to the point that I'm getting paid. I made it to the point that I can go to different dealerships that I never thought that I could go to. For example, shout out to Doral Lincoln.
Shout out.
When I first went there, I was like biting my nails. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna tell me no. And I remember the general manager, the sales manager at the time that I spoke to, which is Rolando. Shout out to him.
Shout out Rolly.
He told me, he was like, yeah, sure, just come by. And ever since then, when he gave me the green light, oh my God, my heart was pounding. I was like, they told me yes.
How did you end up at Doral Lincoln? Like, how did you find them?
I remember, shout out to Redlines again. I remember he did a review on a Continental, the Lincoln Continental, and I was like, I had to do that review. And I remember I went on my like Google Maps and I searched, I'm like, Lincoln, and it was like 23 miles away from my house.
So you saw a review from them,
right?
From Rolly?
No, from the Redlines. The guy.
Okay.
Guy, yeah.
Oh, got you.
I remember, and I seen the review. I was like, I had to do a Continental. I'm like, he has like 100,000 views on this video. I'm like, let me just go and, you know, see what I could do. So I remember I ended up calling, and I spoke to one of the ladies on the phone. She was like, yeah, you can come by. I can set up an appointment. And I was like, okay. I'm like, she told me yeah. So I'm like, let me see what they tell me, like, you know, inside the dealership. So when I went, I dressed nice, of course. I dressed with my nice, you know, long sleeves, long pants, my nice little shoes. And I remember I sat there. At the time, I didn't know who Chris was. I never seen Chris before. So, and I remember they was like, oh, this is a sales manager here. And I was like, I'm like, can I come by like another day and do some reviews? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, I do this. I showed him my channel. He was like, pretty impressive. I think at the time, I had like 500,000 views or 400,000 views or it was around that range. He was like, yeah, sure, you can come. And then I remember, I think I scheduled something the following week. And I remember I did, oh God, what was my first video there? God, I can't remember. I know I did it was
the Navigator?
No, it was one of the used cars. I think it was.
Oh, that's right.
I did a Porsche GTS. I did the Suburban. My memory's kind of a little foggy, but yeah, I know. I remember he gave me the okay, and then within like a month or two going there, that's when I met Chris, and then I met Miguel. Shout out to Miguel and shout out to Chris.
Miguel.
Miguel is so nice. I remember I kind of got in trouble at the little show. Like, like a little incident happened, and not an incident. It was nothing bad, but I got in trouble. And I remember I went in the office. I was like, oh god, they're gonna tell me I can't do videos anymore. I remember I got scared, and when I talked to Miguel at the time, Miguel told me. I felt like I got in trouble, but he was being nice about the situation. He didn't tell me that I can't come back. He was just like, if you're gonna come, talk to Chris.
No, yeah, it was basically just making sure both parties are safe. We don't want like an accident to happen, and then basically someone be at fault. But that's basically it. And shout out Miguel, shout out Steve here at Ford Kendall for basically giving us the opportunity to car review, do this podcast. So the end goal, have them send you a car, and then you've made it.
Right at that point, yeah. That's one of my goals. But another goal is to go when they have like I want to say concept cars. Like for example, like let's just say like for example the Mach one. We're gonna talk about that too. Like they have people that go and drive those cars like performance wise, but it's not released to the public just yet. Mm-hmm. That would be my second goal is to like. Be teamed up with any car manufacturer that have a new car release that I could, see first before anybody else. So yeah, either I got you. So both goals is to get a car from the manufacturer for a week, whatever car they want to send me, and then also going to different manufacturers and seeing the car before it actually hit the production line. So that's kind of my two goals, honestly.
Excellent.
Knowing me, it'd probably be more goals in the future, but those two are right now.
Good. All right, so let's good segue to talk about the Mach 1. Last time we sat down and talked. We spoke about the Mach E. We spoke about the Bronco. This was news to me. Ford is launching the Mach 1. Talk about it. What do you think?
Them bringing it back from like 19. Well, it's been back. It comes back and forth basically. I know they had one. The original one was 1969, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to all the Mustang lovers out there. I'm not too sure. The
classic. I Google image. If you don't know what we're talking about, Mach 1. Right. The vintage. Check it out because those are pretty sweet.
Right, 1969, guys. 1969. It's very long time. I wasn't even thought of at that time.
Way before all of us.
Exactly. But I was reading up on it. Shout out to Motor One. They have a good blog as well. You guys go check them out.
Motor One does a really good job. Right. The writers, the bloggers, people who work for Motor Trend.
Motor Trend or Motor One. It was one of those.
Trend.
I'm sorry about that. Motor One, Motor Trend.
Hold on.
Well, let's double check.
This makes for good. For good rate. Motor Trend.
Okay,
Whoa.
Motor Trend.
Motor. Shout out Motor Trend.
Hey, Motor One. That's an oil company. Shout out to you guys.
Motor Trend. You guys are doing a good job. Shout out to you guys. Right. All right. So go ahead. Continue.
I was reading up on their blog, and that's kind of got my information from. So the Mach 1 will be back. It's going to make about 525 horsepower and 450 foot-pounds of torque. So that's up 45 horsepower and 30 foot-pounds of torque from the naturally aspirated 5-liter that Ford offers in the Ford Bullet. So different styling about the Mach 1 is they're going to have a different... Hold on. It's going to have the circular air intakes, the fog lights, and the horse emblem is going to be a little different in the grille. So that's how you can kind of tell that it's going to be the Mach 1 instead of just a traditional like Mustang, GT or something like that. It's going to look different basically. So it's like kind of like an option package that you can get basically. It's going to be up about 45 horsepower from the original 5-liter that they offer. So I think that's pretty good that they're bringing it back. Like I mentioned, the original was back in 1969. I know they brought it back for 2003 for like a performance pack as well. So they have their trials and tribulations. They bring it back for a short period of time and then discontinue it, bring it back. So it's kind of like it's like going with the wind. Sometimes the wind is there, sometimes the wind is not.
So I was also reading on Motor Trend. It's saying it might replace the Bullet. What do you think about that? Replacing the Bullet for the Mach 1.
I feel like that'd be good because a lot of people that I've seen here in South Florida condo, I've seen maybe like on the tip of my hands, I can count like 10 Bullets that I've seen because it has that unique style, like that green color. Like there's no other Mustang that offers that like that darkish kind of green. So that's how you can kind of tell that it's a Bullet, honestly. for my taste. And then of course you have the Bullet emblem that's in the actual trunk lid
Right.
that says Bullet as well. Shout out to Steve McQueen. I think that's what the car is like. You know, kind of. How would you say it? That was kind of what the car was mentored by from the movie Bullet. So yeah, I think the Bullets. You know, I think that the Mach 1 is gonna be replaced by the is replacing the Bullet. I think that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Just to give some of the other trim levels that were discontinued in the past to give it a comeback. You know what I'm saying? So I see what Ford is kind of trying to do there. I think that's what they're doing is like giving all the old trends a comeback and then, you know, bringing the other old trends as well. So instead of having all these cars from many, many years ago to come back and the whole lineup and a lot of people don't buy them, you know, make it like a limited production run. So I kind of can see where they're going with that. So I think that's pretty cool.
How do you feel about, you know, Ford is pushing really hard. I feel, you know, Bronco, Mach E, Mach 1, you know, they could, who knows what they have, you know, in store for the future, you know, 2021, 2020, 2022. How do you feel about them pushing, you know, that many new vehicles out?
I feel like it's a go-getter. It's like, you know, probably a slap in the face to General Motors. Say, hey, look, we're doing this. What are you guys doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, they brought back the Blazer, but they brought it back in a CUV kind of form instead of like the truckiness, like off-roading kind of thing. That's why I'm saying Ford is kind of like beating them to a sense of like with the Bronco. You know what I'm saying? They making that just how it was before, off-road vehicle. You know, they're not making it into like a mommy crossover vehicle, which is nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of see where Chevy went with the design of the Blazer, but with Ford bringing back all these different, you know, trim levels and different packages and stuff that you can get, I think that's a cool thing because I don't feel like other manufacturers are doing that. They maybe are in a sense, but I don't, you know, really know too much about it. But I feel like Ford is definitely doing their thing when it comes to like bringing back the Mach 1, the Mach E, the Bronco, all those old nameplates that were discontinued, and they're bringing it back for a newer generation.
Who's Ford's biggest competition right now, as far as, you know, that, you know, Ford is pushing out all these vehicles like we've mentioned. Who is you know, biting at Ford's like chomps? Like, you know, let's try to outperform Ford, because I think Ford is ahead of everybody,
right,
in my opinion. You know, as far as, you know, pushing the vehicles, especially right now. You know,
right,
we're still in this middle of this pandemic.
right,
it's
right,
not slowing down. You know,
right.
these numbers are a little scary. You know, the amount of cases, new cases.
Mm-hmm.
But who is looking at Ford and you know, and they feel like, you know, we could you know, compete with them right now?
I'm gonna say honestly, I'm gonna say General Motors, just for the simple fact is that they're bringing back the Hummer EV, which is gonna be fully electric. It's not gonna be the gas guzzler that it was previous before. So
that Hummer, you know, that
was horrible.
Well, like that brings me back to like high school, and you know,
I was
like,
a kid at the time. I kind of remember.
And we're not like I'm 31, and not to say I'm old, but I feel old looking at a Hummer, bro. That every I could have sworn I saw a Hummer around every corner during my high school years. Holy shenanigans!
Right.
And they're bringing it back. How do you feel about that? Because it's a Hummer.
It's a Hummer, but
it's an army vehicle that's,
right,
I think that should stay with.
Shout out to Arnold Schwarzenegger that actually kind of got it to be basically become a public vehicle back in 2002. Because without him, it would still been a military base, you know, car or truck. You know
that's a tank. That is
right,
a tank of a car.
General Motors, I don't.
Jeez.
They did their thing, but they didn't do their thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was kind of like the Hummer is kind of like a hit and miss. You know what I'm saying? It's like either you're gonna pay high gas prices because you can't really, you know. But with the new one that's coming out, I haven't seen any like leaked pictures of the actual exterior, but I kind of seen like GMC, which is gonna be basically the shareholder of the Hummer, which is General Motors Company, which is basically what GMC stands for.
Right.
They're gonna basically take the Hummer's platform and make it basically electrification. So it's gonna have like 11,000 pound feet of torque, 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they're going pretty serious. So that's why I feel like Ford is gonna have some competition. Also with the Ram trucks as well. So it's the big three. It's gonna be Ford, General Motors, and then you have Ram as well. Those are the big three manufacturers in Detroit. Everyone knows that. But I feel like General Motors is gonna give Ford a run for their money, like I mentioned. Like they have the Hummer EV coming. Like I said, I haven't seen exterior design of exterior design of the actual pickup truck itself. But I've seen some. They kind of hinted some pictures of like the interior. Mm-hmm. It has like this removable top. You know what I'm saying? Just like how it has in the Jeep. Like you take the panels and stuff off. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool because it's gonna compete against like the Ford like F-150 whenever they make it fully electric pickup truck. So I know Ford is definitely gonna come up with that. They're not gonna be left behind as well. Like they've been the top selling truck for the last 40 something years.
Yeah. And even with the 150s, they're I've heard, I've seen videos also. They're going electric. Right. They're going. So that's pretty interesting. Like such an iconic truck, and then them going electric. How do you feel about? We're both in agreement with having cars be safer for the environment, for the future, absolutely. But for those kind of like old school people who like the gas, the diesel.
Right.
How do you feel about trucks going electric in general? Not necessarily Ford
and okay. Yeah. So what I feel about. Yeah. I mean, I never drove an actual truck like with anything on the back of it besides like in the bed itself. I never towed anything. I was like, let alone like hitch up a trailer to a truck. I never did that. I can look on YouTube, of course. It'll tell you that. Yes. But my feel on electric trucks, like I said, I think electrification is cool, but gas powered and diesel powered are always going to be the king of the segment, just because it's like it's going to be easier to fill up your gas truck or your diesel truck within like 2 to 3 minutes, and you're going about your
convenience. Where we live in a world that we want stuff
rapid.
Instead
of just sitting on your phone, charging your car or charging your truck. But I think electric trucks are gonna be cool. Like I said, it's the future. Like I mentioned, picking back on what I said from the other podcast, is either you're gonna get left or you're gonna get gone, because you have to be with the program or you're not gonna be with the program at all. So what I think about electric trucks, maybe the towing numbers might be down because it's a battery, so you're going to put wear and tear on that battery. So, you know what I'm saying? Just like your phone. You can't keep charging your phone all the time. You're going to wear and tear the battery, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to be another thing when it comes to pickup truck owners. They like to tow 3,500 pounds or more.
Yes. We live in South Florida. Everybody has a boat. Everybody goes to the Keys during the weekend, Fishing is huge down here. Trailers, there's so much people do with the trucks here in South Florida is insane. But that's very interesting, how much emphasis is, Ford or whatever company that building these trucks going to give, emphasis on the battery, because if you're towing your big boat, you're going to need
a serious battery pack,
exactly.
Or, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, towing is gonna how would I say it? It's gonna basically wear down the battery as a simple fact of like charging wise, because you can go from 100% to like 20% like over a period of time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's another thing that they have to look into consideration, is because there is people that tow massive things every single day. That's some people's job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's people that travel across the country. So electric cars might be the problem of slowing people down, because like I said, you can travel with your gas powered truck. You can do 700 miles or XYZ, without stopping on a full tank. With the battery truck, you might have to stop. Mind you, that truck is like 500 something tons. You have to keep charging it, all this and that. Mind you, there's some cars that's like 2,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds, and sometimes those take 20-30 minutes to charge.
Right.
So that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me.
We'll leave that for another episode.
Right.
Let's wrap this up. As always, I ask my guests 3 random questions. Shout out Barstool Sports for answer the internet game question, whatever you want to call it. Shout out to them. And we'll end it with this. Adarius, I have 3 questions like last time.
My favorite.
Read them out loud and answer them.
All right. Starting with this one. It says, would you rather have all music or all TV to be in Spanish? Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, honestly, guys. I have a whole variety of friends. They're Hispanic, they're Asian, they're African American, they're Black, they are Caucasian. So honestly, yes, because my Spanish.
But which one though?
Ooh, I would say TV, because I'd rather see what I'm listen.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather just look at it. You know what I'm saying?
can't. I'm 100% Hispanic. I was born here in the States. I'm very Americanized, but I cannot do Spanish TV.
No,
I cannot do it.
I would say because I rather see what I'm doing. I'm the kind of person like I have to see something to believe it. So I'm like, the music would be cool, but then I'm like, what is he or she talking about? You know what I'm saying? But I rather see it on TV. It was like an acting scene going. I'm like, okay, oh, that's what they meant. So I'd rather say TV because, like I said, I have Spanish friends and they try to teach you Spanish all the time. But I know the bad stuff. I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah. So
Question 2. Here we go.
Question 2. It says, if you could pick one country to run, what would it be? One country to run. I would say United States because I love America. So I'm a patriot. I love my country. I love where I'm from. I love the things that you have a lot of freedom that goes on in this country. So that I'm that kind of person. So I'm a patriot and I love my country and I love what America stands for. And I would say I'll kind of be a good president. So make the economy a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out USA. All right.
Yeah.
Final question.
It says, what letters boneless wing? It says which is better, boneless wings or regular wings? Boneless wings, honestly, are like chicken nuggets because me personally, I like Wingstop, but oh my god, Wingstop, you have to do better when it comes to boneless chicken wings. Like them things are like actual like chicken nuggets. But I would prefer regular wings. And shout out to anybody that likes hot sauce. Check out Grace hot sauce. It's pretty good. And mix it with some ranch. The best combination ever. I'm telling you guys.
All right, Darius. Before I let you go, tell us where we can find you.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Drive On Reviews, and also my YouTube will be the same thing, which is Drive On Reviews. So you guys can go check out a couple of my videos, and also I got some great news as of this podcast. I have 900,283 views, so I'm almost to 1 million overall views on my YouTube channel. So you guys go watch some more videos.
Let's get them to a million.
Give me to a million.
What happens when you get to it? Do you get like?
I'm not even sure. to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure. I'm kind of excited right now because that was my goal to reach 1 million before 2021.
Ooh.
So I'm kind of like already
we're right there.
Right, months ahead of schedule. But
all right.
So yeah, you guys go find me on that on those platforms, and shout out to Steve and Chris and Doral Lincoln and everybody at Ford here for allowing me to come in and do this podcast once more again. Also, check out their new store coming really soon, which is
Lincoln of Cutler Bay. Let's go. Hopefully, today is June 12th, 2020.
Yes. It's a
Friday. Shout out. Hopefully, God willing, end of the month, early or end of July, we'll be up and running in Lincoln of Cutler Bay. Brand new dealership. If you haven't checked that out, right off the turnpike on Quail. Beautiful facility.
Yes.
And I'm super excited. Everybody's very excited about this. I
can't wait to get there and do some videos.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, Darius.
No problem.
See you guys on the next episode.
All right. Bye, guys.